2, 1, go. Hey-oh.
We're here. We're doing it not live this time, but hey, we're here.
Yeah, we meant to do this. So our last one was Super Bowl Sunday, right?
Super Bowl Sunday was the last one. Today is Tuesday.
Yeah, we waited. We didn't tag our normal Sunday.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay, though.
Yep.
We're here.
Is what it is. Nice day. Beautiful sunshine out.
It's a beautiful day. A little deceiving.
Fucking cold.
Sunday, it was cold. I went on a 40-minute ruck. Monday was all right. Today is just beautiful. It's beautiful. Can't go wrong with it.
I'm going to pick up my sheet from last week here.
Yeah.
That basically says you nailed the Super Bowl scores. Pretty freaking. We were 1 point off of each team, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I was pretty close. I'm surprised.
Job, dude.
Unfortunately, I wish it was the other way around, but hey,
yeah,
I mean, I kind of saw this in the wings. But with that being said, let's talk Super Bowl real quick, just to kind of nail the head, the nail on the head or whatever you want to call it.
So they're the team to beat, man.
Do you think any of this was kind of rigged?
I think we talked about that before. Absolutely. I mean, look, if this one was rigged, they're all rigged. You know
Exactly.
what I mean? It's like that's been a conversation. It's been going on forever. Is the NFL rigged? I don't think so.
Yeah. I mean, it is kind of strange that Kansas City kind of took the whole thing over in the last few seconds, but it is what it is. They won, and next year will be, I'm sure, the Bills' year, just like every other year.
Yeah. There's always these things, like I thought there was some like weird play calling on the side of San Francisco too at the very end of the game. That the choices they made just weren't the best.
No.
Again, dude, I'm look, I'm not a sports guy in depth by any stretch, so what I say is very vague.
Yeah.
We're not, like we said before, anybody wants to start a sports podcast and come up here and have a spot to do it, you're more than welcome. Just contact us. But
just contact them.
Yeah. It was a good game, though.
Yeah.
I'd rather have it that than a freaking blowout to where at least you're,
Yeah, if it was a one-sided game, I think that'd be the most boring Super Bowl in history.
They're just one of those teams, dude, that, like the Patriots used to be that, they could go in at halftime down by, 14, 21 points and just come back out and just they readjust during halftime, and that's what a good team does.
Yeah.
Their team is looking at footage or whatever the first half, and they correct themselves and they come back out, and it was just they dominated the second half and won the game.
Yeah.
It's all there. That's the way you play.
Kansas City Chiefs are the new New England Patriots.
Yeah, well, so far they're halfway there.
They're halfway there. But in other world, man, the music scene, you had John 5 here at the Montage Music Hall on Saturday night.
It was a big show Saturday night. We had a great weekend, man.
That looked amazing. I wish I could have made it.
Yeah.
But I saw some of those photos, and I was like, wow, it's a big party happening at the Montage Music Hall.
Yeah. That was a good one. Yeah. Every once in a while, we get the big sold-out crowd. And, yeah, I mean, Jesus, that guy, he's insane. Insanely talented.
Yeah.
Every time I see him, it's just, you're sort of just blown away with the diversity of the way that guy can play the guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish you would have been here too. I mean, there's, as we were talking about, I'm going to do like a whole new series of like concert recaps and stuff like that called Tour Diaries, where I kind of, from load in to load out. So I've got all that done. I just haven't pieced it together and edited it yet. So I'll get that done this week and probably put it up. I've already seen some footage from a few people that were here that he's just incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, to entertain somebody with like no vocals, just a pure music performance from beginning to end for 75 minutes and keep people's attentions that long, it's a task.
Don't get me wrong, I love my instrumentals, but 75 minutes is a long time without any vocals. Yeah. I don't know. I've never been to a show like that. So,
well, the good thing about him is the diversity that he does throughout the performance. We've had shredders in here before, and I've done these shred fest before.
Yeah.
And it's, to listen to the noodling that's, scales and pentatonic or whatever for 75 minutes, it just, you're kind of bored with it after like 20 minutes.
Oh God. Yeah.
And John is just different.
He's
You
a
know?
different, he's a different entity, man. I just, I've seen some of the things he's done, and I'm just like, wow. And he's been in different bands over the years.
Yep. Yeah. Like Katie Lang, that was one I didn't know about, but I saw some people writing about like what his history was. And then obviously we know that, he did some stuff then with David Lee Roth for a bit. And I think there's like some stuff that, by the way, that he did with Roth that never saw the light of day that might get released soon.
Okay.
He did like a whole CD or something. And then John was on one of his later albums, then Manson and then Zombie and now The Crew.
Yeah.
So it was a long day, but it was a fun day.
Yeah, I mean, work hard, play hard. That's how it goes.
Yep, super nice guy.
Yeah.
Very fan oriented. I was telling you, if you weren't here, he did 3 meet and greets.
That's awesome.
So he did a sound check meet and greet. We got some footage of that. He did just a fan meet and greet, which was lined up at the bar. And he was at one end of our bar and met everybody. And then he did an after show meet and greet.
Nice.
So he was here till probably midnight or 12:30, I think, before he left.
Wow.
Meeting every person, shaking every hand, as long as you bought that meet and greet.
Yeah, still very grateful though. I mean, obviously he cherishes his fans.
Yeah,
which is huge. It's huge.
I hope he continues to do this stuff. And I don't know why he wouldn't, but in between all these Motley Crue tours that obviously are going to continue to happen.
Oh yeah.
Keeps doing his solo tours and stuff like that. People really dig it. This one we sold out, so we probably turned some people away. So anyway,
hey, it happens.
Yep. Hey, did you get your Trump sneakers?
No, I didn't. And I won't.
No.
No.
I'm not $399.
I thought it was fake, to be honest with you, Randy. I thought this was fake because I looked at it and I was like, this has to be a
not when he's the guy freaking on TV, like, at a sneaker convention or whatever, buy my sneakers.
I was like, this has to be a meme or a joke, but it's not.
I don't know, dude. Like I said, man, hate to touch on political stuff all the time, but it's like, when you got a guy that's running for president and he's like now selling sneakers, and I before we hopped on the podcast earlier, I jumped on the website to just see what the cost of these things were. The white pair and the red pair are like $1.99. I mean, I don't think the prices are crazy.
No.
For a gold pair of sneakers, $400. I mean, there's the Nikes and shit and the Jordans and, there's sneakers out there far more expensive than that.
100%.
But there's cologne on there and keychains, and it's just, I don't know, man.
There's a lot of stuff out there. There was a musician a couple of years ago that had I don't know if it was Nike or whatnot, but they had a deal with Nike or something, and they had their own blood in the shoe, and I think that was a huge controversial thing.
Well,
but anyways.
Was he running for president?
No, that's the difference, though. The guy was in the entertainment industry, wasn't running for president.
For the love of God.
What next? I mean, what's coming next?
Well, as he keeps getting, I don't, dude, good enough on that subject. Just piss people off.
Let's get them angry. Let's make the buzz happen.
Hello? You open your door and it's like, would you like to buy a box of Trump cookies? Are you fucking kidding me? It's like the fucking Girl Scout, whatever. There'll be people knocking on your door to buy shit.
The door-to-door salesman thing, that's definitely just an outdated concept, but it still happens.
He's the dude that could bring it back.
He might.
He needs that money.
He might just bring it back.
Yeah. There was one thing, you're very health conscious and stuff like that. It was another thing I was looking at today. So, are you on any of these keto and diet? What do you, anything special you do?
Well, I stay away from garbage for the most part. I'll dive into it on Saturday, just kind of like a cheat day or cheat meal here and there. But, for the most part, high protein stuff. Water, as you can tell, I have a jug of water sitting over there.
I always ask you if you want a water, and he's got his gallon jug with him all the time.
All the time. I'm always drinking water.
Yeah.
I had a Monster today, but I try to limit my caffeine intake as best as possible. Like we were talking about before the show, one caffeinated drink or whatever, 2 max each day. It's not going to hurt you. I know people that have drank like Monsters and NOS and all this other shit. Like they drink like 4 cans of it a day. I'm like, what are you doing? Yeah,
it's not good for you.
God, no.
I mean, and I was telling you that, like I'll do the Celsius stuff just because I think it seems to be the healthiest.
Yeah.
There's not a laundry list of ingredients in it. That's just, because it's some of this shit, my God, you don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And it can't be good for you.
No, nature of the beast, though, is if you can't, pronounce the ingredient, it's probably something that you're not supposed to ingest.
Or like anything they say, if there's just too much of anything in there, peanut butter should just be peanuts and some sort of oil that to, loosen it up a little bit and whatever. I mean,
yeah,
a little bit of sugar in there, I guess, whatever. But then when you see, again, any product that's got all this laundry list of crap in it, it's not good for you.
Yeah,
I do the same thing. I mean, the older you get, man, the healthier you try to eat. So I watch some of this stuff, and it's, there's a lot of information out there, like, fruit is not great for you. You have to eat now bananas.
Yeah.
Don't eat them when they're ripe, because that's the riper they get, the more sugar content you absorb from them or whatever. So it's like to eat a green banana, that used to be something that was like not good, it'll upset your stomach and you'll get the runs and whatever, but that's now it's kind of big on all that stuff though. Again, I watch a lot of podcasts and try to keep up on what's healthy and what to do and what not to do. And it's just the information is constantly changing.
It's kind of wild, man. It's like the same thing with coffee. They're like, oh, 1 minute it's good for you. Another minute it's bad for you. What the fuck do you believe? Though?
Eggs. Same thing.
Eggs,
not good for you. Now they're great for you. And you need the protein, do 2 every morning and whatever.
So what do you believe? You know what I mean? Do you just keep doing your thing or what? I mean,
look, if you go to a doctor and you have a yearly checkup and your blood work is good, then you stay doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
If your cholesterol's not high, your blood pressure's not high, you just do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Once you see shit starting to go in a bad direction, man, you change, pivot from what you're eating and try to eat a little bit better.
Yeah. And if your blood pressure's high, just go to a fucking show at the Montage and just jam the fuck out, because what'll end up happening? You'll actually have a good time.
Try.
There
wasn't a lot of room for people that, they were into it though, that's for sure.
Well, that's the best part of it is like when you go to a show, and I always say this even on the show that I'm on, the M-Balm Effect, I always say when you come to these shows, it's like a community. You forget all your problems. You forget all that other nonsense that's happening. You just drown out the noise with the music, have a great time. And it seems like everybody just gets along.
Yep.
It's great. That's the way it should be.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the comments, the day after were just great. And this was one of those events, dude, there were, I would say there were 60-year-olds here easily.
Yeah.
All the way down to some kids, probably 13, 14-year-olds, which is kind of below what we like to have in here. But, fathers and stuff like to bring their kids to some of these shows. So we get it. And as long as there's not like a mosh pit, or I feel that there's going to be something that's going to, danger a kid, or he's, going to get, bashed into or something.
Pummeled into the crowd. I know.
Yeah, people want to see that stuff. So
no, I know. It's like, you're a mother dropping your kid off. Hey, have a fun time. And then he comes back in, he's all crippled, legs broken, eyes all black and blue. And you're like, what happened to you? Well, a mosh pit broke out. You don't want that.
Yeah, and you can't help that kind of stuff. I mean, we do, every once in a while I'll get those messages on Facebook or an email. It's like, can I bring my 10-year-old? And, it's like,
what are they going to ask next? Can I bring my newborn? Like,
yeah, well,
what?
If I had other people that work here, like Chris, and they would tell you that there's been people with, with their kids in strollers and whatever. And it's like, that's where we're just like, look, man, no, we're, and a lot of times when, those are the shows that obviously, these people are interested in, that are going to be packed, and it's like you can't have kids in here.
No.
Yeah, I don't.
It's going to end up pretty messy. Yeah,
it happens. Yeah. So football is done. What do we go on to next then?
Well,
spring training will start up for baseball.
Yeah, baseball. Did you see this new? I don't know if it's new or what's going on, but I guess Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I don't know. They showed him on there, and there's like a new. It's not the XFL. It's something completely different now.
Oh, he owns part owner.
Yeah.
Right?
Isn't there like, there's like the UFL or something like that? I saw it on TV yesterday and I go, what in the world is that? I go, you've come up with all these different leagues and they never really seem to get where the NFL is.
They never go anywhere.
God, no.
Seems like a horrible investment.
It's just, I don't know how you even defeat or even compare to the NFL at this point.
Tax write-off.
And basically.
But my God. That's something you can lose like millions on by trying to do something like that. That's not, like a fucking tequila company or something.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the other thing. My God.
How many tequila companies are there?
Yeah. Who was I just seeing that? Is it Ozzy maybe?
Could be.
I don't feel like looking it up on the computer, but there's just every freaking week.
Yeah.
Like another celebrity or movie whatever, or, musician doing something.
Here's a new cologne. Here's a new tequila.
Yeah.
Well,
it seems like it's got to be a risk-free endeavor because so many people are doing it.
It's got to be.
I think once you get something and you can, get it in the hands of like vendors and there's just, that consistent mass order that are going to go to liquor stores or whatever. If you're lucky enough to get, liquor stores to carry it, I think it's kind of like a one and done thing. I mean, once they start going out the door,
yeah,
you're good.
Done. Yeah, you're good.
Unless it's not selling and people stop, But my God, do you go into a liquor store at all?
I do. Here and there. Yeah,
it's like Jesus.
There's so many fucking choices.
Yeah, the same with beer.
Oh God,
beers
of the world, right?
Yeah,
go in there. It's like
You just wonder. It's like how with so many choices, how are some of these companies going to stay afloat?
I know.
Because it's how do people find something? I mean, like us, Jenny. Okay, it's popular in this area.
Yeah.
It's not traveling as far as too many states, north, south, or east, west of here.
Yeah.
Rohrbach is local, so we carry that.
Yeah.
But it's like, and there was just a brewery here in Rochester that just closed. So you've already seen one start up and like kind of bite the dust.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's always sad to see them close up too, man.
Such a flooded market at this point.
We talk about Rochester all the time, and it's like you have all these different things here, small town, shops, but you also have the breweries that are going on. Jenny's just a huge brewery here in Rochester. I mean, I don't think you're going to find anything else locally that's going to be as big as that beer.
Well, there's a lot of these breweries that are around locally, and we may seem naive. It's like people listen to this or like, well, Jesus, guy, you don't know that much about it or whatever. Where you can only buy the product at the brewery.
Yeah, it's true.
It's like how's that ever gonna? That business model seems weird.
Come to us to buy our stuff. We're not going to supply it at like Wegmans or something like that.
Well, I'm sure that they're trying.
They might be.
They're trying to get a distributor that will carry their line. But again, distributors it's like us here in a different way that, I've only got so many coolers and there's so big of a walk-in cooler.
Yeah.
I can only carry so much diversity of like what I carry in beer.
Yeah.
Without, stacking, one kind of beer here and then the next kind above it, then one of my bartenders going to come in and try and pull that box out from the bottom of a bud. No, you can't. So it's crazy.
Being in the industry of where vendors and all that stuff come into play, I can tell you right now, knowing for what I know from like say Walmart, whatever you put in there doesn't stay in the back room. It never stays in the back room. They don't want any inventory in the back room. They want to put it all on the floor. So if that stuff's is not selling, is not moving, I mean, you're going to have an issue kind of keeping up with that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a really wild world when you go in behind the scenes of these things. But like here in Rochester, man, we like to talk about garbage plates. Garbage plates are a huge commodity here in Rochester. Fucking huge. Especially like I miss the days where you could go to a show until like 12 to 1 in the morning. Go to a restaurant that's still open 24 hours, 7 days a week, and sit down and have a garbage plate. That's stuff I miss. Actually, there was a El Nino show that you had here back in 2016. I was going to
say, holy crap.
That's 2016. I remember going to one of the diners that were still open and having a garbage plate after. But now it's like that doesn't happen anymore because COVID fucking killed that.
Yeah, I don't, I'm sure there's some kids that are still, out and about, but yeah, our nights are a lot earlier than they used to be. And I know my staff is down with that thing, I don't know. I'd have to talk to more people your age. I'm not sure that people don't go other places and do other things, but yeah, to do it until 1 and 2 in the morning, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd have to talk to like the owner of like Murphy's Law or somewhere like that, or some of these, I don't know. If 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock is still a thing.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think it is as much as it used to be.
That was, I did see like that. I was skimming the news today just to get something to maybe chat about, like the shit that's just been going on Monroe Avenue.
What's going on Monroe Avenue?
I guess just like how the, clubs and restaurants and just the, everybody on that street is putting up with like the violence. Somebody was stabbed there the other night. There was a fight out in front of, I don't want to say it was O'Callaghan's, but maybe last night there was some brawl or something there. Just the shit that's been going on in Monroe Avenue. I guess it's like been on the uptick.
No shit.
Yeah, and just how the
it's unfortunate.
The business owners on that street are dealing with it, coping with it.
Well, it hurts their business. I mean, people get a bad outlook. They're like, "Oh, well, that happened over there. I'm not going to go there." Well, that's not the business owner's fault.
No, I mean, I don't know. I mean, if it's something that starts out inside and then spills outside, but I mean, shit happens, man. I mean, I guess there was a brawl in front of the bar or something, and then somebody ended up in the road and got hit by a car.
Jesus.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Man, see, that's always sad. But you know what? GSL News, I'm sure, is covering these things because he's out there just filming all the time. Oh, that kid.
So what does he do?
Jeffrey Rogers.
Yeah, what does he just roam the city, kind of like he's like Jake Gyllenhaal?
He's like, he is just about like that guy on that movie.
Did you steal that?
No, look, the kid's, I mean, he's, I think, 21, 22 years old. He's got a lot of ambition. The guy just goes out there. He films all this stuff. He's putting the news out there for Rochester residents to pretty much understand what's happening in our own city. So, a guy his age doing the things that he's doing, I can't wait to interview him this Saturday.
You haven't done him yet.
This Saturday.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I can't wait to get into the nitty-gritty on that one. Because that's going to be crazy, just to hear the things he's witnessed himself in person.
So I'm going to look him up just real quick and see if he's got any news on what's going on. GSL News.
GSL News.
Okay, so off Facebook, is that the best place to go? Probably.
Probably. Yeah.
Wow, I know we talked about him on the last podcast.
We did, a little bit. Yeah,
he's young.
Yeah, he's very young. He's like I said, he's got to be like 22 tops.
Good for him.
Very motivated. And there's people my age or older that just aren't doing the stuff he's doing. And it's like, he's a young kid. He's just pretty much starting out. And he's doing way more than a ton of other people that I know are ever doing in their lives. So I give
that'll be an interesting conversation. So he must have a scanner or something like that.
Probably.
He then hears what's going on and then goes there. Because, I'm looking at something from last night. 2 suspects in custody after police chase went through at least 2 counties, ending in Monroe County on 590 near Colborne Road. Police ended up by a pit maneuver. More information.
The old pit maneuver. And he was covering all that stuff that happened at Kodak Center, when that whole crash happened. And I'm going to definitely talk to him about that. But, at the end of the day, man, in our own city, when you have people like Jeffrey Rogers going out there, putting themselves out there, let's be honest, it's risky business what he's doing. He could get caught in some crossfire. So he's putting his well-being out there just to get the news across. Like
video recorded yesterday. He's got this pop-up that keeps popping up. Man being attacked by several group of males, showed a video punching and kicking him. After that, he was ran over by an SUV parked on top of his body. Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, what he does and what he covers.
2 a.m.
What he covers is pretty dark. I mean, it's pretty sick shit sometimes. So, but he's putting it out there. He's raw, he's real, he's gritty, and I don't care what anyone says. The kid's doing a lot of good stuff. He's putting it out there, showing you the truth.
Nice. So is he just Facebook driven, or?
He's on TikTok, he's on Instagram, he's on Facebook. I'm not sure if he's got YouTube or not, but at the end of the day, man, he's got like 30-something thousand followers, and I followed him for 4 years now.
Oh,
when he was a lot younger, when he was a teenager, and he's come a long way. Again, consistency. He's consistent. He does a lot of different things, but he keeps posting. He keeps himself going. So, yeah, kid's driven. We need more of that in this society, man. We surely do. And on every avenue. I mean, musician-wise, artist-wise, business-wise, I think we need that.
Yeah. I don't think he's stopped by here yet. But yeah, he looks like he's out and about just, at local events. And
yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. So, yeah, Jeffrey Rogers.
Jeffrey Rogers. GSL News on Facebook, people.
I remember, this must have been maybe a year or so ago. But this is before you and I met. But I remember we covered on our show the time somebody had stolen a Kia and smashed into your building here.
Oh yeah.
I remember that. We covered that, and I was just like,
420. Easy date to remember, man.
Is that when it
It was
happened?
420, yeah.
Oh shit! So it was about a year ago then. And I remember that. And
Yeah.
I go, how the fuck do people?
Did he cover that? Probably.
We did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, because somebody had told me about it. I go, no shit. I go, that's pretty messed up.
Yeah.
So I looked at it and then we covered it on our show, and I'm like, dude, this is the kind of shit that needs to stop. You know, these smash and grabs, man.
Right.
Luckily, nothing else was stolen or destroyed here, which was great. That's good news. But still, it's like it costed you a lot of grief.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it was I mean, like anything else, dude, like we've had these conversations, you know, we went to work, man. I called my guy, Chris, who everybody, you know, if you connected with the Montage, which probably you are if you're watching this in any way, shape, or form. You know, my phone went off. I immediately got on my cameras, started to, you know, they were still in the act of like the car, you know, just coming through. The alarm went off. I, you know, got the notification and I saw the kid just get out of the car. He like peeked his head in the venue, and our alarm is very, very loud, and it's located right by the front doors. So if they were planning on coming in at all, which I don't even know if they were, I'm sure it just scared the shit out of him because he peeked in and went, you know, outside. And then my cameras could catch everything from inside in the foyer. And then the building's cameras and the steam plant's cameras caught some other stuff that we later got to view. And it was, I mean, it was quite the deliberate effort, I think, because, you know, anybody that's been here, we're on a one-way street.
Yep.
There's always cars parked on the street. It's not one of those, like most of them were, where strip mall type scenario where, you know, you just get the car and either back up over the sidewalk and into the front doors, windows, whatever, or full straight on. They had to come down the road a little bit, go to where the dip is, to where there's a garage door. I think they might even went further down than that, pulled the car up, you know, back and forth till they could angle it, come up the sidewalk, maneuver themselves between the building and those cement pylons that are out there, and then get to where they were in front of the building, and then do the same thing, angle themselves to where then they could make a direct hit towards the front doors, and almost kept backing to within inches of a car that was parked on the road in front.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of work to where, you know, I remember telling the police when they were here that I'm like, this just didn't seem random.
No, it wasn't.
Because this is way too much work.
Yeah.
You know, so, and I think there was a couple other music venues that were kind of like subject to that crap when it was going on as well.
Man.
So, but yeah, I mean, you know, I was just, you know, and my guy, he's amazing. You know, I couldn't do what I do without him, but I call him at 3:15 or something like that in the morning. He answers. I'm like, dude, so we just, you know, and it had been going on for a bit.
Oh yeah.
And we were always just like, you know, will we be next? And I was always saying, I'm like, it'd be difficult. You know, how's anybody going to fucking, you know, we're a one-way street.
Yeah.
It's not two lanes where somebody can like pack it far enough to come up and over, even if there's not a car here. Well, again, sure enough, they found a way. But so I called him and I'm like, yeah, dude, so we just got broken into. Can you meet me down there? He's like, Jesus Christ, yeah. So we both got here, man, and we just instantaneously grabbed brooms, a shovel, and just started cleaning up and called the building. And the maintenance manager came and he helped a little, not a lot. And, you know, we got it all cleaned up as best we could. And then, you know, there you know, it was like COVID, dude. You know, there was no second thought of like, you know, we had a show that night. It was a Thursday, so that's kind of rare. We don't always have shows on Thursdays. And, you know, my first thought was like anything else. I'm like, dude, our next, after we get this clean, we go to Home Depot, we buy some plywood, we fucking put it up, you know. So then I had a conversation with the building and she's like, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no. Well, you know, so you may have to board up and close for it. I'm like, no.
No, we're not doing that.
You know, well, plywood can be cut and we can buy some latches and hinge. Well, we'll make a door. Are you cool with that? Because we have a show tonight. She's like, well, you're going to try to open? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, dude, it's a couple sheets of plywood and we make a door. Yeah. And then we do the same on the front. Yeah. And by 7:00 in the morning, we had 7:00 in the morning, we had a start. And then I called, you know, a guy that I know that's a construction guy, and he came down at noon and bought some wood and bought some hinges and blah, blah, blah. Dude, we were open that night.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was like, same thing with COVID, bro. When COVID hit, I was like, all right, well, I'm on Amazon, I'll buy the stickers for the fucking floor. And then, all right, so how do I get people to the door? All right, we got stanchions, so we'll do that.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, we'll put the plywood, the plexiglass thing up. So I had that made, and then I'm just like, well, now we'll reach out to bands and see who is willing to play in this environment, you know. And we, there were a bunch of bands like, yeah, dude. And I'm like, we'll do this and we'll do that. And then Como kept throwing us fucking curveballs with the fucking hot dog and chicken wings and fucking can't drink a beer, can drink a beer, got to have food before you drink the beer.
Chicken wings aren't food.
Blah, blah, blah. So, we just kept fucking, me and my staff, God bless them, man. We just kept like, all right, we'll do this. All right, we'll do that. All right, we'll buy chips and cheese. And then it was like, no, it can't be chips and cheese. It's like, all right, well, we'll buy this and we'll buy that. We just kept, and put, anybody that played here, God bless them too. But, then we just put I went as far as putting plexiglass across the front of the stage, just so we were like, hey, man, we're not, because we were worried about people singing that didn't have a mask on. So I'm like, okay, so we don't want that virus to project out to the audience. And, and we made it work.
God, man, it's such a wild time to even think back about now.
I'm not bragging about this, but, a month or so in, I just was like, no one else is doing this? No one else even tried it for the most part. A couple places, but it was like, how the fuck are you going to pay your bills, man?
What are they
you're just going to go in debt. I mean, the building wasn't going to help me at first. They were like, rent's still got to be paid.
Yeah.
And then I think when, the discussion of relief and everything came, I think they realized that they were going to be able to get some tax credits or whatever it was. And, so then they helped me out a little bit, but I mean, I still had to pay something.
Oh God. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so we got through that. We got through the smashing grab thing through the front door, and you just keep doing what you got to do, man. Make it work. We have dude, we just spent an hour downstairs.
Yeah.
Talking about the ins and the outs of like,
we did
the drama that goes on in this music scene, and the things that you just gotta like, don't let the outside shit bother you.
No, you can't.
Stay focused. There's always going to be something thrown at you every week, every month, every year. And you just got to just do what you do and just keep doing it, know?
That's the thing. People need to understand, you got to drown that fucking noise out and just focus on the important shit at hand, because when you let that noise get to your head, you're going to fall apart. Everything you do is going to fall apart. That's the last thing you need.
Yep.
All that noise that's happening, let it happen. Well, don't be a part of it.
And it's not easy.
It's never easy.
It's not easy to drown it out. And it's, as we were talking about earlier, it's, I mean, we're pivoting on many different topics here, which is good, but that's what we do.
That's what we do.
It's the wild, wild west out there. And anybody that may be watching watching this, that does this as well, and you know who you are, and many people know who I'm talking about, and it's not a bad thing, I guess, but, more venues opening and, this one opening and taking away business from that one. I mean, it's the wild, wild west right now of everybody trying to do live music, and it's more competitive than people realize.
100%.
But, the way that you last, and you do it as long as I have and others that I work with and colleagues of mine have lasted, is you just do what you do.
Yeah.
And you just keep doing what you do. And when a challenge comes along, you don't get over, excited about it. You figure it out.
You have to.
Figure it out. And I mean, that happens in here on a weekly basis. Every show is a little different, and, especially if you start doing things at the bigger level, there's that gap between, when things go smooth and everything is orchestrated. Again, we've talked about this before. I work for Live Nation, and when you're at those events, I mean, that crew comes in, buses, tractor trailers, and it's like it's an orchestra, and there's no drama. I mean, it's just another building for them. They're still going to build the same house on the same lot. It's just a different city, so and there might be a couple of challenges where the stage isn't as deep, the stage isn't as wide, and we've got to cut back on this, or there's, some of the production may get compromised, for lack of a better word, or has to, scale down a little bit. But, when you've done it for a long time, it's just, okay, this is what we have to do. And it's like here. I mean, sometimes bands come in this room and have things that we're not going to be able to do. We're not going to be able to fit, It's few and far between. I think most agents, most bands know the size rooms that they're playing. We're lucky. We have a sizable stage. We've got lighting truss where, bands can bring in more lighting. We've got, more than enough inputs and stuff like that for bands that are bringing in other boards and all this other stuff. So we make all that work. But yeah, I mean, every weekend here, there could be some sort of challenge. Not to mention the building itself, where you walk in and, this building is, I don't even know how old it is.
I was going to say, this building it's got to have some history behind it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this upstairs in general, but, we'll come in and the floor is flooded because of the old theater on the other side. Just
actually, I was going to hear.
The roof was shot.
I was going to ask you about that because I've heard some rumors spreading around that there's another part of this building that hasn't seen the light of day in a long time.
Yeah, it's I don't know.
Probably dangerous.
Yeah, it's probably nothing I should get into, but I don't know. It needs a lot of work.
Yeah.
If it was a car on a lot, no one would be buying it.
No, it's unfortunate.
Yeah, I don't know.
But hey, you know what? That happens everywhere. There's always something that, is just it's not fixable.
Well, and that's, I mean, if there was ever a concept in my mind, for that to be another venue at some point. Once again, we're right back to that discussion of like, does Rochester need another venue?
No.
And I've always had that conversation, and I'm not trying to be snarky, and I'm not trying to, be negative or whatever. But I mean, you got the Eastman Theater over here with the Kodak thing in it and whatever. I mean, that's a theater. You got the Harrow East Ballroom, which he liked and wanted to do live music for a while. We did shows over there.
Yeah.
I mean, he just, he didn't really want to do anything that had any movement. So it was like if he was to have national tours over there or shows over there, it had to be something that was like mellow. We did Lamb of God over there.
That's crazy.
And Flames and some,
And Flames is a great band.
Like a freaking deer in headlights. Like, what the fuck? We can't be doing this. It's like, well, dude, but how'd your bar do? Our Blue Cross Arena sits vacant for the most part of live shows, music shows. The auditorium theater gets, sporadic. I mean, what you put all the money in as any kind of entity, promoter, whatever it is. What are you going to do with it?
I know.
How many shows are you going to put over there? And then you're going to compete maybe with like the place that's across the street.
Right.
And then they get a fucking wild hair up their ass because it's like, now what's this, like one block over, like another theater? And, again, there's just, Innovation Square just opened or whatever that is. I haven't been in there, but there's that venue now. So who would invest in this to do anything? Yeah. Yeah. There's a bunch of shows. I think Creative Concerts, I think they're out of Syracuse.
Okay.
They're putting some shows over there. So it's like, there's only in Western New York it's not the, where we could fist bump Buffalo and fist bump Syracuse.
We're not the biggest
we're not the
region.
biggest region anymore to facilitate tours coming in enough regularity to where this, it's going to be sustainable to put the millions of dollars in some property to do another venue like that.
Oversaturation, man. I mean, anything. It doesn't matter what it is, whether it be that or anything. I think when you get oversaturated, it's kind of hard to stand out anymore because everyone's doing the same thing after a while.
Yeah, and even like the Armory, I mean, that guy that bought it, and now I guess like he's not going to be able to open and whatever. I mean, even an investment like that, dude. How many shows in there are you going to do?
That's a rough one.
And then you have to, if you're a concert promoter and that's what you were going to buy that facility for, well, then you're going to have to pivot with that situation and then try to do trade shows or something else to circumvent an income in that facility above and beyond the fucking 20 concerts or whatever you're going to do in there.
That building needs work.
Well, yeah. I mean,
it needs a lot of work. I was always scared of that floor years ago when I'd go to there.
Yep.
Like I haven't been there in 4 years, but the last show I went to was an EDM show with Excision, and that was all dubstep. So people are up jumping up and down on that floor.
Yeah.
And I felt that floor just fold, like not folding, but bending in. And I'm like, oh my God, is this the end of us?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, man, you got to take care of the property. Otherwise, how are you going to host these shows?
Right.
So something like that, that poor guy that bought that. I mean, what's he going to do now?
Yeah. I think, again, I don't want to talk out of school and out of my ass or whatever, but what little bit I know, it needs a sprinkler system above and beyond what the city is not going to give him, I guess. And it's all been in the news. And if you're in this world, I mean, it is what it is. It's another venue. Of course, we know what's going on there. That's just part of the world that we live in. So I know,
you have to.
He's not a favorable entity to the city of Rochester, so they're not going to give him an entertainment license until he cleans up some of the other properties. If he does that, he still, I believe, and again, if I could be wrong on this, that he needs a sprinkler system in there.
Yeah,
and that's
huge.
That's a big chunk of money. I mean, probably above and beyond or double what he paid for that facility.
Damn.
So, without that, even if he can get some sort of licensing to be open,
yeah,
I do believe that there's going to be a certain number of the amount of people, even if it was a trade show, that he's going to be able to let in there. Because without a sprinkler system, it then becomes how many people can be in that facility where it's safe enough to where they can get to exits properly. And if there's a fire, I don't know. I mean, yeah, that's above and beyond my knowledge of that kind of thing. But I think he'd be very limited to do anything without a sprinkler system in there. Because having the public in there, and if there's a fire, I would say a couple hundred people or something where they would feel, okay, it's safe enough, maybe. That's not a trade show is going to look at that and be like,
I'm not doing it.
Well, it's not enough.
Yeah.
We may have 1,000 people in and out throughout the day. Oh, this is important. I have to take this. No, just kidding.
Well,
Anyway, yeah. So it's I don't know. I think we're good. With the amount of venues, it's.
Yeah, I mean, there's only so much you can do.
Yep.
In one small area.
Yeah.
And it just goes for everything. I mean, how many times do you need another grocery store in the area? I mean, you got Wegmans, you got Aldi, you got all these different stores. I mean, you see these big franchises like what was it, Whole Foods that just came in? I'm like, did we really need that? Did we really need Whole Foods here in RLC?
People see. If we were live, man, comments would be like, "Fuck you, dude! I love Whole Foods."
I know.
I think you and me talking about the health stuff. I mean, I haven't been there. I don't live here in Rochester, so I've been to Trader Joe's. It's cool. It's small. It's weird. It seems like, well, I mean, it's very stocked with stuff. But the thing that I noticed was, like they've got a lot of these like pre-prepared like dinner, like chicken marsala and baked ziti and all these little, things that are shrink wrapped and whatever.
Yeah.
And they seem cheap, like, 3 something, whatever. And you're like, okay, well, man, like shit like this at Walmart is like $5, but they're smaller packages. They're almost like a serving and a half.
Yeah.
Like, if you and your wife or whatever don't eat a lot, or you eat like a fist portion on your plate, you're good to go with that little thing.
Not me.
So it was like you could see the marketing strategy there by that company was like, everything's going to look good on those little, because it looks like everything has like a little index card. It's not even, where they almost look like they're drawn in marker at Trader Joe's. Sort of. Really? Well, sort of. It's weird, but so you bring it home and it's like, okay, this there's not a lot in here. No. So it's all fucking relative compared to like what Walmart is. But they do have a lot of organic stuff. And so it's above and beyond that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cool stuff in there. But Whole Foods, I think, from what I've seen, dude, like in just watching some YouTube videos and stuff too, of like, I watch a lot of those where people go to Costco and Whole Foods and like they seem like they have a huge product line of like, organic, this kind of sugar, and there's like, a ton of it. And then like cane sugar and organic sugar and raw sugar, and then like this stuff that goes in whatever. Like I want to go in there, but it's just overwhelmingly amount of choice. Like mustard, there's like, Walmart's got 10 kinds. Whole Foods
has like 100.
Got 100 because there's the organic and there's the fucking this and the that and whatever. But I don't know.
You ever been to Costco, man?
Overwhelmed with that shit.
You ever been to Costco?
Oh yeah.
It's a shit show over there, man. You go there at like 3, 4 in the afternoon. I know. It's like sardines.
Yeah. Every time I pull in there, I'm like, do these fucking people have jobs? Because you're right. from the minute that place opens till whatever on any given day of the week.
Yeah.
Because I have a membership there, so I'll come up and go. And for the first few months, I was like, fucking go on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Go on a Wednesday. Like how? Because the weekends,
forget
about it.
Saturday,
you can find a fucking cart.
Good luck.
Yeah. And that lot is like always full.
Yeah, always. It's a sea of cars. It's insane.
Yeah.
You feel like you're drowning when you're in there.
And it's crazy, dude, because it's like, how is that like that? But like our Sam's Club wasn't doing well enough to stay open.
I know.
When it's
closed.
I mean, Costco's got a little bit different product line for sure. I think it's, in my opinion, it's kind of like BJ's, Sam's Club, Costco in terms of like quality and like, and Sam's Club is definitely more business oriented.
Yeah.
Paper towels, trash bags, cleaning cloths, cleaning solutions, all of that kind of stuff, where Costco's not, it's definitely more food. And then there's paper products, but it's more home oriented than business oriented.
Yeah.
Sam's Club, huge boxes of cups. Everything is, with 1,000 plastic cups, styrofoam cups, whatever. So Costco's not like that. So for somebody like me that owns a business like that, I need to go to both.
Yeah.
And BJ's is the one that just the food selection shit, the home stuff, not as great, more overpriced. I don't know. I like Costco the best.
Yeah.
And then Sam's Club is a necessity for here to buy my cups, trash bags, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And BJ's is kind of like, there's nothing really there that I need that membership for.
No.
So.
Not that you can get at the other ones.
You guys are members of Costco?
No.
No?
No, I've been there, but it's a madhouse, man.
It is.
It's a madhouse. And then just like, it reminds me of why I miss going to Wegmans at 1 a.m. when nobody's around.
Yeah, I mean, Costco's cool though. They've, if you know that you're going to eat certain things and, it's part of your regiment weekly, like eggs and feta cheese or, bread and whatever, and you go through more than a loaf and you've got Costco is probably those kind of places that are cool to go and get stuff. And they do have great, a lot of their packaged dinner foods or whatever.
Yep.
It's rare if it's something that you like that you get it and it's not good.
Yeah.
The quality's really good of everything there. Costco's, it's cool, but it's, I mean, when you approach, when you're done shopping, the fucking line is like all the way to the back of the building.
Oh, it's crazy.
So you have to learn your tactic.
Yeah.
So anybody like that goes to Costco, if you don't know this trick, so if you're at the back and the registers and like in front of you and they're spread out and you got the self-serve to the right, wander all the way over to the left, go down like a left aisle and then head like that way and sort of skim in line from the back.
Yeah.
And usually the register's all the way to the left. Like people get in like a long line all the way down between like the food and then like the food over there. And then you get to like the pharmaceutical, the Advil and all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Don't go down that way.
Don't go down that way.
Go the left way, go down an aisle, be a scumbag.
It's a Costco life hack Randy's giving you right now.
Yeah.
If you go to Costco and you're a
Costco
member,
cheat sheet.
yeah, just do exactly what he said. You'll be out of there in no time.
Well,
maybe you'll be out of there faster than the other people. Though. I'll tell you right now, man.
I mean, I'll tell you, man. They used to have like good shit to take out of there too. They used to have this like turkey sandwich, like fucking melted provolone and pesto on it and whatever. And when COVID hit, they scaled all that shit down and they never brought that back.
That sucks.
That was always like fucking Costco. That go in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Go hungry. Grab that because dude, it was
massive,
big, that fucking thick with turkey and
they don't do this anymore.
Melted cheese. No, it's gone.
What?
That used to be my thing, dude. And then fucking mow that on the way home.
Yeah.
And the gas there, bro. That's the other thing.
Yeah, it's not as bad as
Christ. That's a line that you're in for fucking 20 minutes. So anyway, you want to go to Costco, bro? That's a 2-hour easily. That's like Disneyland on any fucking ride.
It is.
You're just block out 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it's a wild store. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah.
It's fucking chaos.
It's worth it though.
Yeah.
I mean, the shit you can get in there for certain prices and. Like the Celsius and the Prime and whatever, man, you go in there and you get a case of it and you got it for a while. Because if you try to buy this, like these guys, like independently, fucking $3 or $2 something for one of these.
Is that what it is now?
Yeah. Celsius, same thing. Go buy like one can of that shit. It's like almost $3. You go in there, it's like still $30, I believe, in that area for is it 12 or something like that? But
Jesus.
I think it still averages out to be a hell of a lot, like $1.50 compared to what you pay if you want to go in like a 7-Eleven or Tops or something and buy like a single bottle of that shit.
I remember when energy drinks and all that shit was like $1 or something.
Well, you can still, I think that, the dollar store still has $1.25, energy drinks. But again, the ingredient list is
it's huge.
3/4 of the bottle. And it's like, what the fuck is, well, even on this kind of shit, what is alpha tropharyl,
what is that?
acetate? When I read acetate, isn't that something that's in like fucking glue or some bonding?
Probably.
Yeah.
Retinol palmitate? Pyridoxine? Hydrochloric acid? I don't even know what's going on here.
I mean, Logan.
What are you doing, man?
Yeah.
Oh, but hey, at least they warn you here. Tree nuts are an allergen.
Yeah.
So
I'll tell you the other thing, man, is one thing about these, so there's no sugar. So that's good.
Yeah.
But oh my, have you had these before?
I've never had these.
They are sweet as fuck.
But no sugar.
No.
It says total grams of sugar, but that's probably the natural sugar. It's where you have to look for added sugars.
That 1 gram is probably like the fruit of some sort. What little bit of fruit they put in.
That's what I'm saying.
Here.
That's probably the natural sugar. Because when you look at it includes 0 grams of added sugar, that's what you want to look at for sure.
But it's like,
but this is
I just wonder when you well, I guess mainly this.
Yeah.
Like who did the taste testing? Is that it's like going into the warehouse and because I've got some downstairs. I'll let you because these have both been opened. I think I've been drinking out of this one.
Oh, okay.
And that one might be too. So I'm not going to have you take it. But bro, sweet as like this is like those little jugs of fucking things that you can get when you're, for your 4-year-olds and 5-year-olds and you send them to lunch with them.
Oh, yeah.
They're called jug.
Yeah.
It's all sugar and they're sweet as hell.
Yeah.
This is probably sweeter than those.
No shit.
And I'm like, why?
So I always question that. I always go, what makes this sweet even there's no sugar in there?
Logan. What's the other dude? Logan
and Jake?
Logan and Jake. I mean, I don't know. Dude, can we chill with the fucking, because this makes your mouth, like your fucking cheeks pucker.
Yeah.
It's so sweet. But it's good.
Yeah.
And that flavor, that
lemon lime?
Yeah, don't care for it.
You don't like that?
No, it tastes very like.
Doesn't like it.
I don't know. Not chemically, but like sweet tarty, like I don't know. That's gross. So when I buy them, I can give you, I have a lot of those down in my office because those are the ones I brought up here and I'll just give them to people that, it's like, hey, do you have any stuff? Be like, yeah, let me go grab you one out of my office. I don't mind the tropical punch and the other one's like a blueberry something. Those are okay. Sweet as fuck. That, again,
not your favorite.
I don't know who tasted that one and said that was good at all.
Maybe it was Jay and Silent Bob. Maybe they taste tested.
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, Randy, you're huge on YouTube, and you probably have watched
a little bit
countless different YouTubers on there. Have you ever heard of LA Beast?
LA Beast?
Yeah.
No.
The LA Beast. Let me tell you something about this guy. You talk about taste testing and all that.
That's what I have my laptop open for.
So LA Beast, how I even found this guy is just kind of crazy. But the first video I ever watched of LA Beast was of him trying cereals from the 80s and 90s. I'm talking like in present day. I'm talking he's eating cereals that were like 20, 30, sometimes 40 years old.
What's the point? Are they? Can you still buy them?
No, not really. So eBay kind of stopped this now because this shit was happening. But basically, people would sell him these old ass cereals. Like I have a couple of things of Oreos when Game of Thrones was huge back in 2018. Well, I still have those in my house. I mean, I could probably sell it to him in 10, 20 years from now and just have him do a video. But it's funny because he would like eat some of the cereal and go, wow, it tastes like chemicals. Makes you wonder though, what's really in those foods that you're consuming?
This is something that I'll say that just popped into my head. For the few people that we've got viewers now or whatever, and I mean, look, we're going to just keep growing this no matter we've got 12 views, 15 views, we'll get there. You know what I mean? Little by little. And we'll clickbait the fuck out of you until you're all watching. And I guess maybe we will put a little bit more of this on Facebook and whatever, but anything that you're watching, dude, let us know in the comments. If you're a YouTube guy, person, whatever, found your way to us and I love to, I'm always looking for something to watch. I mean, I know a lot of people are, always on like, hey, what's the next thing on Netflix to watch? Or, what's this or watch, whatever. That's always cool too. But yeah, I'm a big, there's so much content that, is useful.
Yeah.
And if not useful, you know what? There are so many like cool personalities though on YouTube. I mean, a lot of people are like wacky or whatever, but dude, there's people that are like super talented out in this country. And I mean, TikTok is the same way. There's like so many people that you watch that just have such a comedic presence to them. Like when you watch it, it's like, holy shit. So it's like, that's why I spend so much time just watching this, and I think my wife would tell you, friends would tell you, maybe, I'm short attention span to a fault, but I think that people with a short attention span get a lot more done sometimes. You're banging from one thing to the next.
Yeah. ADHD.
Yes, I definitely have that. And when we drink too many energy drinks, that probably gets even worse. But so I do like these, things that you can jump on and you're in and out in 5 minutes or 4 minutes or 10 minutes or 15. And like I told you, when I see something that interests me in terms of the title, but then I see it's an hour and 42 minutes long, I'm like, next. I can't.
Some people have that. I mean, hey, it happens. I just banked an impromptu episode yesterday with a friend I haven't seen in 13 years. We lasted almost 3 hours, if not 3 hours. And some people enjoyed it, and other people might have clicked off. It depends on the person, And
even us, dude, we're banking these things at like whatever. I don't know where we are now. But,
I don't either.
50 minutes or whatever. People are skimming through. I've had a buddy of mine be like, "Yeah, I checked it out. I skimmed through it." It's like but that's good. That's a click, right? That's a watch.
It is, and I want to just take a moment here to express something here. So. The episode 3, Swiftgate, decoding the alleged Taylor Swift Super Bowl conspiracy. Now, this is an episode we did, I think, the week before the Super Bowl. There's a comment on here because we have 414 views on this specific episode.
No kidding.
And I want to not call out, but I want to shout out to Mike Allen 5291. He says, "No comments? Whoa!" And he posted that 7 days ago on the comment section of this episode. Yeah, come on, man. Let's get some comments in here. I want to see some comments on Talking Music. Let's get some comments. Give us what your ideas are. What music are you into? If you're from the Rochester area, what are you into here in the ROC? I mean, you have something to say to us. Let's get it down. We love the comments. We love the engagement.
Dude, that's like we've said that before. We've said this in every podcast. It's like I don't think people know that they, that they can engage in a positive way.
Let's do it.
And like engaging in a positive way, liking the post that we're doing, going to YouTube, subscribe, hit the notification bell, blah, 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 blah. It seems like the only people that want to chime in on anything is negativity.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes 2 seconds. And I guess, that's just it. Either you're the person that does something like that, and more often than not, that person is a negative idiot that just wants to be, he wants to get on just to say, something. I mean, dude, I get that all the time. It was like, or get off on another tangent, but so the one little snippet, or it wasn't a snippet, I took a screenshot of John 5 had these flash pot things.
Okay.
And one guy, was like, look, I don't think he meant to be facetious or whatever, but it was like, you remember, you're pretty young, but like Great White played at a bar years ago.
Okay.
Do you even know who Great White is? Or like an 80s hero? Okay.
Probably
so anyway,
not.
There was a band that played a small club years ago and had flash pots that were actual, like heat-induced sparks or small flames or whatever. It wasn't like a flame. It wasn't like Kiss or anything like that. Well, the ceiling was low and it was made of like foam ceiling tiles. They caught on fire and a bunch of people died.
I've heard of this.
Yes. Okay.
I actually heard of this.
Somebody chimed in on that, which I get it. So they saw the picture and John 5 had these. Now there's something that's called, and I without looking at the screenshot and what it was, but I knew what it was by definition. My sound engineer knew what it was by definition. So it's like a cold spark. Okay. And I know I'm not saying that right, which literally if you had your hand over the flash pot, I don't even know if I'm calling that the right thing, but we'll say that for lack of the right term.
Yeah.
It's cold. So it can even hit your hand coming out of it. So if there's no heat, nothing's going to catch on fire.
Right.
It's some sort of something that's been derived now that is, can have that effect, but it's not going to burn anything.
Yeah.
Otherwise, would we have done it? Because you can see that they go right to the ceiling. And, you know, we've got like a 10-foot or more lift between the stage. So anyway, super, super cool look. I don't know where I was going with this story, but, so somebody just commented on that. It was like, you know, dude, it's like, bro, relax. Luckily, some guy that's a sound engineer here in Rochester, before I even saw it, he had already commented. It was like, this was like a, you know, it doesn't burn. It's this, it's whatever. And it was like, yeah, but
sometimes you have to educate them, you know?
Yeah.
Look, you know, there's always going to be negative comments. There's always going to be some type of, somebody's out there trying to get clout one way or another. And a lot of people like to do it in the negative way. I always tell people, because I do this myself, if you even see it, don't respond to it. There's no reason to respond to negativity. You know,
I just don't understand anyone's. I mean, we could, you know, I don't understand anyone's motivation with that.
I don't either.
You know, I mean,
and we would never will.
For everybody that may want to chime in and be catty like you are and you know, kind of keep that little bullshit going or whatever. But I think most people look at you like, you know what, dude, what? Yeah, it seems like just about everything that I post, it's, you know, there's like somebody that's got something picayune to say. If there's a spelling error, it's like, oh, you know, dude, somebody needs to spell check. It's like, bro, you know what? People, it
happens.
Yeah. And sometimes, like, I'm guilty of that a lot, but I do a lot of shit on my phone, you know, and sometimes, man, you can proofread things 5 times and not see that width is missing the I.
Yeah.
It's like,
and then you go back and you're looking at it like, oh, I gotta edit it.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
And, you know, look, man, and again, text messages, comments, emails, all can be misread. You don't know what anybody's demeanor is when they're saying them.
True.
But I mean, there's a way to just say something like, yo, bro, like, check the spelling. You got an error there.
Yeah.
Or message the page.
Yeah.
If you want to tell me something, like, do you need to be that douche that's like snarky about it in the comments?
Yeah.
If I got something misspelled, send the page a message.
Yeah.
Be like, bro, the post you just made has the wrong date, has something misspelled.
Yeah.
How about that?
Be constructive.
Yeah. How about helping, not being a douchebag?
I know.
Anyway.
Just can't read into it.
Yep.
You know, and always appreciate and acknowledge the ones that, you know, have something positive to say. Like, that's why I wanted to give a shout out there. Somebody had said, hey, wow, no comments. It's kind of crazy, you know? Yeah. I mean, let's engage. Let's talk. I mean, that's what we're here for. And eventually, maybe down the road, we'll have maybe phone calls. That'd be great. If we can implement
I really want to do that.
That'd be so awesome.
That being said, so we brought up a couple of things here already that we would love to get your feedback on. So I haven't even checked. So we've got that one's 412 views.
Yeah. 414 actually, to be exact.
So that's definitely something to where we're getting some interaction, which is good.
Yes.
I know you're all watching that going like laughing, but that's not horrible.
No, it's not terrible, I mean, especially with us just starting out. You know, another one here. S Shaw 16684. This was 3 weeks ago on the second episode. Said great stuff. Thank you very much for that feedback. You know, and I've had people personally come up to me that I know and has seen it and they enjoy this. You know,
I mean,
it's amazing to hear the feedback.
We would love more comments because that, you know, like I said, be positive.
We'll even have a segment where we can read comments and just kind of go through them.
Well, yeah, and that's definitely what, you know, definitely could be something that we can, you know, get some more interaction with. So I wanted to ask you, and then we'll probably wrap up here, but are you heading in? Are you going to be here Saturday? Or no?
I have the interview.
Oh, that's right.
Saturday. So the next show, there's a couple shows, I think, in March. Obviously, Perspective is going to be here.
Right.
I'll be here for that one. I would like to catch some more.
Well, yeah, I mean, this weekend, Fractured Fortune, Grizzly Run.
I know, it's a huge one, and I'm going to be missing it. I'm disappointed that I'm not going to be able to make it. If I don't know how long this show is going to run. So, you know, I don't want to be the guy that comes in late.
Well, do what you got to do.
You know? But, you know, just because, you know, somebody can't make it, I always say, just because I can't make it, you should make it. Go see this show. Go support the Montage Music Hall. Go support the bands that are playing. Again, if you're from Rochester, you want to see this keep happening, you want to see the growth keep growing, you got to go out and support the homies.
Yeah, because we do have this post-show thing that we're doing now on the channel that, you know, either M-Balm's going to be up, the both of us or whatever. We are going to try to, you know, chat with bands. One maybe 2. It'd be hard to get 4 of them up here.
Yeah, and I always try to limit. I think we should limit that to maybe 2, 3 at max. Because let's be honest here, man, the night gets kind of crazy. I know the guys performing, the bands are performing. They're they're tired. It gets to be a long night, and the only time you're ever going to see these posted interviews is here at the Montage. So, it's gonna be great to see what else is coming up next. I mean, bands are coming here left and right.
So what we'll do is maybe I'll get with you and sort of get you the set times for everybody, and if you're done enough, quick. I mean, I don't know what time you slate these things and what time they go till, but we'll see if we can figure something out and go by those set times and see what time you can maybe get here, and then we can maybe see if I know Fractured Fortune is headlining that night. So if nothing else, you get done with a full day of podcasting, you may have other things to do, like eat dinner and be with your family.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are definitely going to try on most of these local shows, and then as we move forward, Of Virtue is going to be in here on a Saturday. So yeah, we're kind of like, we have to figure out how we can, figure this out, the two of us, to where, because Saturdays are kind of your M-Balm effect podcast days.
Usually that happens around 6 p.m. Eastern time.
And you go live?
We go live, we stream live, and then we try to, my main focus is trying to run between an hour and a half, 2 hours tops. That's usually the main focus on the time. Sometimes it goes to 3 hours, depending on the conversation, but I like to keep it around 1 hour, 1.5 hours, 2 hours. Just because, like you said, how long can you really talk for? Sometimes you go over and you're like, oh shit, but
yeah,
it happens.
Well, and again, we'll talk off of the cast, because maybe we can figure something out, dude, where like some Saturdays where there's going to be something that's content driven here, you can do your first hour or 2 back here, and then be here for the bands.
Yeah, I'm sure we can maybe set something up.
Maybe that can be something.
Yeah.
Well, again, we'll set up a little studio over there for you, because you got another Roadmaster or whatever the fuck.
Oh yeah, the Roadcaster.
Roadcaster Master.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll do more of that conversation.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, hope we didn't bore you today, dude. We're just trying to get together once a week, and we're just getting going. So we're just going to hop on, shoot the shit about different stuff that we're looking at. And again, man, if any of you out there got something you want to pop in here, we usually are doing Sundays.
Yep.
Sometimes it's a weird day, like today. It's a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Hit us up. Montage page you can send a message to, his page, my page. Obviously, you can comment in this podcast.
Yeah.
We're not hard to find.
God, no.
If you want to pop up, we've got room in the middle. We've got couches. We can do a different setup. We got a couch there, couches there. If you want to pop on the podcast, we'd love to have you on. So send us an email, themontage@rochester.r.com, or just messages on the Montage page. And, we'll see what we can do to accommodate. Again, if you got something to talk about, you're a new business, you want us to help you get the word out on that, whatever it is, just message us and we'll try to get you on.
And don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah.
Because if you don't subscribe, well, guess what? Then I don't know. We need some help from you. If you want to continue seeing this stuff happen, you want to continue seeing some good people in here, some good guests, my way to do that is to subscribe, like, share, follow, and hell, comment. We love the interaction.
All right, man. Peace out.
Hell yeah, man. Until next one. Peace out.